We are, in fact, looking at young Mr. Malone. He and his group of friends allegedly not only committed crypto fraud, but it just so happens to be one of the biggest crypto fraud cases in history. In this episode, I'm going to share with all of you exactly who these guys are, what they did, and how they did it. But first, before we get into any of that, real quick, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and also hit the bell notification as well.
It's all the
Oh my god!
bro.
Oh my god!
Way, nigga.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Who the f is Malone?
Hey, yo, Malone, you going real crazy like it's your birthday.
Can't believe that we made it this far. Can't believe that we made it this far.
All my friends are dead. Push me to the edge.
In August 2024, a group of scammers successfully stole $238 million from a single victim, but their success was short-lived when the feds caught up to them within a month. Flaunting the stolen money on social media, nightclubs, lavish neighborhoods, private jets, and luxury shopping, it all came crashing down after an investigator, known as ZachXBT on the platform X, cracked the heist and broke the story. ZachXBT is a scammer worst nightmare. This is the largest crypto heist ever recorded in U.S. history. Members of the group involved in the heist: 21-year-old Jendil Serrano goes by Box, 18-year-old Veer Chettle goes by Wiz, and 20-year-old Malone Lam goes by Greavies, Anne Hathaway, and $3. Danish Khan and Shun are also a part of the ongoing investigation. One Genesis creditor, who was unaware that they would lose an incredible $238 million in Bitcoin, was the target of these scammers. However, how did they manage to do it? Were they proficient coders and skilled hackers? Well, it was actually much easier than it looks. These con artists were quite clever. They exploited the victim using social engineering. By definition, it's the use of deception to manipulate individuals into divulging confidential or personal information that may be used for fraudulent purposes. It all started with...
Did you hear what he just said? Social engineering. Not a phishing scheme like just technical code or an email or something like that. They physically got on the phone and talked this guy into giving them his information. And if you've watched me for any amount of time, you know I preach against this.
With an apparently harmless phone call from Google support. However, Google was not the source of this call. Veer Chettle, also known as Wiz, tricked the victim into believing that their personal accounts had been stolen by using a spoofed phone number. He obtained access to the victim's iCloud and Gmail accounts using this fictitious sense of urgency, where he obtained important security data. After that, Jendil Serrano, also known as Box, called again and claimed to be from Gemini, the cryptocurrency exchange the victim used. The victim was tricked into thinking that there was an attack on their account. The victim changed their two-factor authentication settings under pressure and after being persuaded that they had to take immediate action. This allowed the hackers to get access to the Gemini account swiftly and cleverly transferring money to a hacked wallet. The victim was unaware that things were getting out of control. It appeared to be simply another step in protecting assets when he was requested to utilize AnyDesk, a remote access program. In actuality, though, it was the last piece to their elaborate plan. The victim unintentionally shared their screen, exposing the private keys to their Bitcoin wallet. With a few clicks, the hackers were able to take control of their digital money. They captured their live reactions to the smooth transfer of 4,064 Bitcoins, which at the time were worth over $230 million in a private Discord.
Not for nothing, but this guy did everything that you could possibly do wrong. He did it. You shouldn't never, ever, ever do any of that. Never give anyone any of your information. I don't give a fuck who calls you, what they say. I don't care. Never. That should never happen. The only way to protect what you have is to be in control of it. And the only way for you to be in control of it is to have your own wallet. That's it. There is no middle ground. Either you're in control or you're not. As a matter of fact, this is why we have our store right here. And we are your authorized dealer. We have been for several years of the leading worldwide manufacturers in security. Okay. Basically what you do, you take it off of whatever exchange you have it on, you put it on your wallet. And once you do that, you are the only one in the world that has access to what you own, period. Okay. Let me just show you a couple of things really quick, because this ties into the episode that we're watching right now. And you just seen a glimpse of that. But most of you do not have one of these, which is insane to me. But it is what it is. So here we are. Also break down the difference between hot and cold, because there is a big difference. And also on here, there's a video where it just gives you several examples of how hackers steal from you and how to protect yourself. This information is priceless, so take advantage of it, because you're who I made it for. You're welcome.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
F***ing way, nigga.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
No f***ing way.
They were obviously thrilled to see the millions of dollars go into their wallets. If you like true crime stories like this, subscribe to the channel for weekly videos. There was no question that the thieves now had the money, and they were aware that their task was far from over. They promptly started the money laundering process exactly 17 minutes later. They used a popular strategy known as peel chains to divide the stolen cryptocurrency into smaller portions and move it among 15 different exchanges, making it more difficult for law enforcement to track the big transactions. Bitcoin was swapped for Litecoin, Litecoin was swapped for Ethereum, and Ethereum was swapped for Monero. The trace was further disguised by the extensive process, which took many days and involved frequently transferring between various currencies and exchanges. ZachXBT claims to have more than an hour and a half of recordings of these hackers. There are even instances where they made a mistake and revealed their entire identities and other crucial details, which Zach was able to obtain. On several instances, they accidentally linked the stolen funds with their personal assets. Wiz, for example, also leaked his full name during a screen recording. One individual couldn't help but stand out, even if the majority of the team decided to play it safe, keeping a low profile and avoiding the temptation to overspend. Malone, a
You heard what he said. They were all trying to lay low and not draw attention. But, I mean, it had been, a few days, a week? What do you think's going to happen?
Singaporean living in the US is the one we want to focus on most. Zach learned a lot about Malone because he loved to show off his new wealth. He then started spending between $250,000 and $500,000 every night and giving away Birkin bags to random girls that reported on TikTok, leaving his parties with the Birkins, including a TikToker, Harrison Schuyler. You couldn't miss Malone if you were in one of those clubs. DJs in LA would shout his name, and his name would flash on signs, grabbing all the attention. Next, he flew to Miami, rented a private plane, and went to a whole new level of spending there. Malone moved into a waterfront house in Miami, near 84th and Bayshore. This was no ordinary home. It was a $10,500,000 mansion that rented for $62,000 per month. This mansion was incredible. Jendiel Serrano rented a house in California at $47,500 per month. Malone bought 31 luxury cars, including custom Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and Porsches, spending millions. 22 of these are still missing as of September 24th. Malone spared no expense on a new luxury car collection, purchasing a new Porsche 911 GT3 RS, a white Lamborghini Urus, a fully customized white Mansory Lamborghini Urus with a baby blue interior, a matte black Lamborghini Revuelto, a new Ferrari SUV in black, 2 Mercedes-Benz G-Class models, one in gray and one wrapped in matte black camouflage, a matte black Ferrari 812 Superfast, a convertible Rolls-Royce Dawn in matte black and pink, a blue BMW M4, a matte gray Lamborghini Revuelto, a black Mansory Ferrari SF90, a blue Lamborghini Urus, an all-white wide-body kit Lamborghini Aventador SVJ with Malone's name inscribed on the bottom of the door, another Lamborghini Aventador.
Talk about swag. I'm telling you, Malone is the fucking man. You see this guy, 31 cars, exotic, $62,000 a month mansion, throwing out Birkin bags, the scam.
SVJ in blue, a pink Urus, which Malone first purchased as a present for his former lover in an attempt to win her back, but was turned down once again. Little did they know, the feds were closing in on their scheme. They had a victim complaint, transactions, and names from the leaked Discord chat, including Veer Chettle, who slipped up and showed his legal name on a computer screen. They
Gotta give it to him. These young dudes were very convincing as con men over the phone. I mean, that's what got them the money, nothing other than that. I mean, having the details, but that was the biggest thing right there. Getting on the phone and talking with the guy and making him feel insecure, which still blows my mind. But nonetheless, they left breadcrumbs, and here we are. Let's see what happens.
discovered he received a large percent cut and $34.5 million of which lay untouched in a wallet. When Serrano returned from the Maldives with his fiancée on September 18th, precisely 1 month after the theft, he was taken into custody at the Los Angeles airport.
The FBI swarmed a luxury home in Miami in a raid connected to the theft of cryptocurrency. The government says it's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Authorities took Malone Lam into custody. At the same time, the FBI arrested Jandiel Serrano in Los Angeles. They say he's connected to the same investigation. They're charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to launder money.
Before the arrest, Malone promptly deactivated his Telegram account when she alerted him. Malone was apprehended by Miami police that same day. The Miami Herald claims that the FBI raided his upscale beachfront residence, which is reportedly a popular Airbnb rental among celebrities. They confiscated automobiles and watches from the residences. These luxury items are likely to be seized by authorities and auctioned off as part of the asset recovery process. On September 19th, Malone was charged in a U.S. federal court in Florida with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and money laundering. He attended a pre-trial hearing before a judge in Washington, D.C. on November 14th to talk about the disclosure of evidence. He asked for a speedy trial at that point, meaning the trial could not be postponed forever. Scott Armstrong, his lawyer, informed us that Malone, who is 20 years old, is unfortunately caught in a really complex matter. We'll fight hard to protect him. Malone is presently in Virginia in custody and will appear in court again for a pre-trial hearing on January 9th of next year. He might be imprisoned for up to 20 years for each conviction and fined up to $250,000, or up to twice the amount he made from the scheme. What began as an adrenaline rush journey of luxury for Malone and his friends turned into arrests, asset seizures, and their names being linked to one of the largest cryptocurrency crimes in history. This theft ultimately demonstrates that the law always surfaces, regardless of how clever the crime was or how large the reward was, and the cost they faced was much higher than the brief luxury experienced. If you want more crime stories like this, give this video a like and leave a comment below.
Point well made, Caser. As a matter of fact, I'm going to leave a link to his original video in the description of this one. Go over there and give him some support because he did a great job. Key lesson, gentlemen. Own your keys. Own your coins. The only way to do this is to have your own wallet. Otherwise, you can be a victim just like this guy. And you don't have 245 million. And even if you did, would you want someone to take it from you? No. Be smart. Until next time, get in there and make it happen.